did an apprenticeship back in, I was one of the fortunate ones that did an apprenticeship back in 1985. And basically I was at school, and when it came to work experience, they said to me, what do you want to do? I'd done a summer job at like a shoe repair place that cut keys. So I said, oh, my first option was to be a locksmith. Second option was an estate agent. I don't know why I put that, but I did. Anyway, the school I went to, which was Kiwi Boys in Barnet, they found me a placement in a locksmith company called, back then it was called Barnet, I think it was Barnet Lock and Security. It was down by Barnet Odeon. A guy called Ron Twigg, who was the boss there at the time. So I did my apprenticeship there. Now I've been there for about 3 years, something like that. And then he decided to sell up to another company. What are they called? Dovetail Security he sold up to, which was no good for me because they didn't want a apprentice, so they literally got rid of me, threw me by the wayside. It was you know, it wasn't a nice feeling. I was only young, lost my job, and hadn't really finished off my apprenticeship at all. So oh blimey, it's a school one. So yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of stuff with them. It was great, but then yeah, I was left in the lurch. So it's like I was a bit panicky, didn't know what to do. I loved the trade I was doing. So another company came up and they said they were looking for a locksmith. I went for an interview and I blagged it. I said I could do everything, but I was still in the process of doing my apprenticeship. So yeah, I just did what I had to do to have a job. But obviously I was lucky because of the experience I've already had from my apprenticeship. That carried me a long way and helped out. So yeah, I worked for them for a bit. I mean, some of the stuff I did back then was yeah, the thing wasn't amazing, but you know, it's a long, slow learning curve, and I got there in the end. And then I worked for a few other companies. Some of them a little bit notorious. Should I say one of them was a bit notorious. Didn't have very good ethics. They didn't particularly like it when I went out and did open ups, because I would pick everything and they'd say to me, why are you picking everything? Because you get 5% commission if you replace the lock. And I say, well, surely that's my choice, isn't it? And you know, but at the same time it gave me a bit of kudos with them, because if they had a door that couldn't be drilled open, they would send me, not to get my commission. Isn't that weird? The more rubbish you are, the more money you make. Yeah, you're rewarded for being bad at your job. So anyway, I worked for them for a bit, and then I went to work for a company called Barnet Lock Centre, formerly known as Barnet Lock and Safe, over in Barnet. Hi Barnet. They were well, actually before that I went to work for another company, but it was in Letchworth, and that went really bad very quickly. Basically I was used. I had to go to court as a witness over something, and yeah, that particular boss at the time basically threatened me. He said to me, if you go to court you've lost your job. So I phoned up the court and said, thanks for this, I've lost my job because of you. And the court actually done him for contempt of court. And then he had the audacity to phone me back and say I didn't say that, and offer me my job back. I was like, mate, it's already been done, it's, you know, finished. So yeah, from there I had a little break in the locksmithing game, because a friend of mine, he owned a butcher's, and and he was just opening up a greengrocers next door, so he asked me if I could come in, just give him a hand to set up. Anyway, I went there and worked for him for a bit. That was a good laugh, really good laugh. But it's not what I wanted to do. So again, shortly after that, I found this other company, which is Barnet Lock Safe, or Barnet Lock Centre, as it's known now. Yeah, I went to work for them. I worked for them for about 10 years. You know what? They're a great company. They believed in training. They believed in growing their staff. So I was very fortunate that while working with them, they sent me on courses. I was in the MLA as a student. And back then, funny enough, back then when I was a student, I went for the advanced student and I failed by 1%. Oh god, I couldn't have written it. So yeah, I failed it by 1%. Then resat it past it. But anyway, I was with them for about 10 years. They're pretty good on growth and development for their staff. But you worked hard. You worked really hard. I mean, back in the day, we were doing probably 8 jobs a day at least. And there's a team of 6 of us, something like that. So there's a lot of work going. And then back then, all the doors didn't come with the locks like they do now. Like a UPVC door comes with the lock already fitted in it. It's already in there. The cylinder's already in there, so there's not really much to do. Back in the day, people would have a wood door fitted, and they just had a Yale lock on it. That's all the carpenters were putting. Had a Yale lock, so we'd go in there fit a mortise lock. It's the same with windows. Back in the day, you'd have your wooden windows fitted. Didn't even come with locks on it. It come with this stays to hold the windows shut, but there'd be no extra locks on your windows. None of them had extra locks. So yeah, it's a little bit different back then. So there was a lot more work around because the security wasn't like it is now. Nowadays you order a UPVC window and it's got everything you possibly need on it. You don't need anything else. So yeah, the dynamics have changed in the locksmithing game, and there's a lot more people in it as well. When I did my apprenticeship, there's hardly anyone in it. Now it's probably, I'd say, saturated. With good and bad, which you got to have the bad so you can realise what the good is. It's not good to have the bad, but it does reflect on the people that are good at their job, as opposed to if everyone was the same, then everyone's the same. There'd be no good, no bad. It'd be the same. But obviously, the way things are, if you have a good locksmith or a bad locksmith, it will reflect on your skill level with others. So always strive to be better than what you are, because we're all learning. I mean, I've been in the game for over 36 years, and things change, things evolve, so you're learning all the time. So yeah, so I went to work for that company. Back to the story. I went to work for that company, worked for them for a very long time, and then I started getting alopecia. My hair started falling out because it was quite stressful. So I left, and then I went to work for Barnet Lock over in Enfield. Another Barnet Lock, same name, different people. I worked for them for a few years. It was amazing working for them. Basically, I got to travel the country with them, staying in hotels, working away. It was amazing. It's a line of work that I'd never seen before. And it was great in the beginning when you're staying away in a hotel, with your work colleagues, which effectively becomes your mates. And it'd be a good laugh. You'd be on site for the whole day. I mean, literally, you'd be working all day. Just go back to the hotel. You'd be so knackered. All you do is have your dinner and go to bed. So yeah, did that for a couple of years, and then it wears a bit thin after a while. The travelling thing is great when you first do it, to experience different things in life, but yeah, it gets a bit thin. So then I went back to work for the old company, Barnet, and then I went back to work there, and then I was on what do they call it, probation. It was a 3 month probation period. Don't know why they knew what I could do, but anyway, it was a 3 month probation period. And while I was there, the beach came back, my hair started falling out. I went back there because I did like the company, all the work was more local. Anyway, the beach came back, and I thought, you know what, I can't be dealing with this. So basically, I went to my mortgage company, I remortgaged my flat to release a bit of equity in it, and then set up my business. But I made the mistake of not setting up straight away. I spent a bit of the money that I shouldn't have spent, and basically shit hit the fan. I was about to run out of money, and I hadn't even started the business. I was like, oh my god, I hadn't even have a year out living the life of Riley. So so then I had to quickly go out, get a van. Luckily I knew quite a few people in this industry, and quite a few friends in the industry, so I made a few phone calls, and then the warrant work came up. So I started doing the warrant work, and that was amazing, you know. It was nice because I was doing stuff that other people weren't doing as well. I mean, I did chump pick, and not many warrant locksmiths had the chump pick, so I was getting all the, the hard, well, seemed to be harder jobs, with the stab pick, Jeff Turner pick. It actually made very light work of the chub locks, so that was quite good. And ever since then I've been working for myself. I do, when they're on, I do a couple of days warrants. Just keep my hand in because I enjoy the picking side of it. But there we go, I pick locks at home for fun as well. Geek. So that's basically my life. But what happened back 2023, 2022, 2021, I had a mountain bike accident. I was off work for nearly 6 months. That was a killer. I love mountain biking. I enjoy the fun, the thrill. I'll put some clips of what I used to do. I had an accident, and basically I shattered my wrist. A radial fracture, what they call it. Oh, my phone's ringing. So I'll get back to you. Back on again. Yeah, that was a mate Rob. Just found by that smart lock. So I was talking about mountain bike. So I had this mountain bike accident. Basically I went off a drop. I mean, the irony, I was going too slow. That's the irony of it. Because I had the helmet on, knee pads, elbow pads, gloves, fully kitted out. Never thought about the wrist, you know. It's not looking too bad. I don't know if you can see it now. So it's not mixing the scar. And the pin, where the pins were on the sides. I mean, I've got movement, limited range, but it's the surgeon said it's the worst radial fracture he's ever dealt with. So that wasn't good. I had physio, hand therapy. That was hard, really hard, and it hurt like mad. I mean, that hand still hurts, Every so often when I can have a steroid injection, it's bliss. It's so nice. The pain goes away. I mean, unfortunately, because I had external fixtures, it shish kebabbed all my tendons. So not only do I have to deal with the limited range of movement, I've got to deal with the fact that the tendons were shish kebabbed. But listen, they did a great job. They built my wrist from dead bone tissue and gauze. That's how he built my wrist, and I've got a metal plate in it as well. he did mention about taking it out, but I was like, oh, if it's not broken, don't fix it. But who knows what happened in the future. But at the moment, I'm working. All my savings went. I wasn't insured, and that's why I did that little donate button on the Facebook, on the YouTube channel. I don't really expect to get too much from that. In fact, I don't expect to get anything. Yeah, so that was a real shock to me and the family. You know, the wife was panicking. You know, what are we going to do? We've got no income. I actually had another locksmith called Jason Gardner phone me up. Bless him. He actually offered me some money to help me out. But I said to him, you know, I couldn't take off him because I didn't know where at the time. I still had all the metal stuff on my arm, and I didn't know where I was going to be. You know, I didn't know if I was going to be working as a locksmith or working. Period. You know, I had this lump of metal on my arm. So I just said to him, you know, listen, I can't take your money because if I can't pay it back, then I'm going to feel terrible. You know, and it's not me to borrow the money. Yeah, see, if you want to give it to me, it doesn't matter. But you know, to borrow money, it's when you're in that sort of situation, you don't know if you can pay it back or not. It's best not to take it. So yeah, I did that. Put the time in for the physio. Even my physiotherapist said to me, you know, he actually had patients with smaller radial fractures have got less movement than me, so that's quite, you know, makes you want to push it even harder. But yeah, so yeah, I've got movement. I'm working. I do have limitations of what I can and can't do with the wrist, so I'm not so ambidextrous now. Moving to more right-handed than both, but it is slowly starting to coming back. You know, I've got like a 60 kg squeezing force with this hand. This hand, when I first did it, it was something like 2 or 1 kg. It was ridiculous, but I think I've got it up to about 40 now, so it's not too bad. It's getting there. But yeah, so this is where I am now, still working away. So the story continues, life goes on, we all got to push forwards. So don't let anything, you know, always find another way. Push yourself, push your boundaries, your limits. If you sit there and feel sorry for yourself, it's not healthy. Don't get me wrong, you do lick your wounds. Mentally, I went through I was in some dark places mentally when I had the stuff on my wrist. You know, it wasn't good. I had my family around me, which helped. Another locksmith, Chandel, he helped me out by getting me to go out with him on jobs to be his mentor on his own jobs. So that helped mentally because it got me out of the house. This once the metal work came off and I just had a plaster on my wrist. So that really helped with me mentally, going out and doing stuff, because I'm not the sort of person that sits at home doing nothing. So yeah, cheers, Shani. And that was good. But yeah, so all these things helped me get to where I am now. Yeah, as I said, you know, just push on, do the best you can to the best of your ability, be the best person you can be. That's all anyone can do. So yeah, probably a bit of a boring one, but that's basically my life. And yeah, enjoy. Catch you later.